This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
All right there. Hey, this is Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, Worldwide TV Network, WomenOnTV.tv. That's really important these days because it's all about helping and supporting women. So K4HD, radio, Talk4 Media TV, radio, and podcasting, and all around the world. And the fun thing about this show is I've been really looking forward to this. It's been a long day talking to many countries around the world, Tosh. It went from 9 countries talking every day around the world to 12 now. And it's going to keep going up more and more and more with all the stuff that we're doing. And I couldn't be happy about that. Terri Marie is having problems getting on, but that's normal. We got fires coming on. And speak of the devil, there she is. And Radano reached Terri Marie nonstop.
I don't have problems all the time. I had to hardwire my computer in to the EarthNet.
Hey, we got you. You came in right on time. So she's nonstop as usual. So with that, Tosh out of Miami, Florida. It's good to see you, Tosh. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm honestly super excited that Janet-Lynn and her daughter are here because I got this yesterday and I'm on chapter 5 today and I'm so excited about the book. So I love it. I love this book.
Hey, that's a great thing. I'm going to talk to you because I started to go back and reread a couple things that we'll talk about in a minute. So straight all the way from Canada, I'm starting to call her a friend because I enjoy talking to her when I get a chance. Yeah, I got to say this: international best-selling author, speaker. I got to put a motivational speaker in there because I believe she is, and I kind of feel motivated when I'm talking to her when I get a call and talk to her on the phone because it's fun to talk to her. But, you know, it's really, really special because we last talked to Janet-Lynn back in April. And actually, so Danielle is up in Portugal. Danielle, it's past your bedtime, but I'm glad you're up. We always welcome that. But here's the thing about this. Going back to reread this book, because now that I keep it with me, forever is today, it is really, really special. And it's fun because I started going back to in a couple chapters. I went back to chapter 10 on this for a reason. It was really interesting to me. But here's the one and only international best-selling author, Janet-Lynn. Janet, it's good to see you again. It's always fun to chat with you on the phone because I feel like you inspire me in a way.
Aw, that is so sweet of you to say. And you do the same to me. You're just amazing. You're always available and you always have so many interesting things to share. And I really appreciate it a lot. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I thank you too, because I call you a friend these days. So I got to say this. We had been planning this show. Maddy, you didn't know about this, but we all talked about having you on because I thought it was important because when you see this book, you always want to see what's the photo behind this young woman on this. So when she got a chance to call me, we were locked out of her apartment. My friend, and we had to get it. And Maddy was calling me. Remember that story, Maddy? And I'm like, call me right back. It was hilarious. And I'm like, I got to talk to her because it was exciting for me. Because, Maddy, when you saw this, talk about what's it like to have, your mom to be an international bestseller for one, but also to have your face on the cover of this book that she wrote. What is that like for you? And welcome to Movie Reviews and More.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. It's definitely a weird feeling. Like, even when you guys were just holding up the book, I'm like, wait a second, like, she looks familiar. Oh yeah. Like, so it's definitely very strange. And I mean, my mom is such an inspiration for me. So I always knew, she was going to go on and do amazing things. So I'm so excited that things are coming together for her, and it's just a great feeling for us. So yeah.
Let's talk about this. I want to talk about your sweatshirt, but I also want to talk about your website too, and then we'll go back to your mom, because I wanted to make this not only about you, but about your mom, because this is really special. And the reason why I say that, I love the connection when your mom, how proud she was talking about what this book meant to have you on that cover, and why it was okay to have you on that.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just start off by saying that the girl in my mom's book, her situation is very similar to, it's loosely based off of me. So about 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with advanced autoimmune liver disease. I was 15 at the time, so I was in grade 10 in high school, and it just really came out of the blue, and before we really knew it, I was really sick. I was living at Sick Kids Hospital here in Toronto, and they're like, there isn't a cure yet. It's just something you're going to have to learn to live with. And it's not something that gets easier. It's not something that gets better, really. It's just a really uphill battle, and so it's been a tough time, There's been a lot of days where I start crying right when my alarm goes off in the morning, because it's like it's just another day that I kind of have to suffer through. And so I've pretty much been told by doctors, my specialists are just like, this is going to be your life. It sucks, but get used to taking handfuls of pills and feeling like crap every day. So but that I've never been, I'm sure from talking to my mom, that's not really something that sits right with me. If there's a will, there's a way. So I've really been these past few months, especially because things just got to a bad place for me. I've just been searching for alternative routes and kind of taking back my power and taking my health into my own hands. So then I'll kind of go into, I just opened a new clothing brand. So it's called 478, and pretty much 478 is an effective breathing technique that's practiced throughout the world. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and then out for 8. So the cycle of doing this has proven successful in releasing stress and anxiety, and just helping your mind settle into the present moment, which in the fast-paced society we live in is something that's often overlooked, connecting with the present moment and the importance of that. So, now more than ever, people are suffering from depression, which is emotions based in the past, and are making themselves physically sick with anxiety, emotions of anxiety, which are based in the future. So when we live in this constant state of fear all the time, our bodies it's a downward spiral, and we make ourselves sick mentally and physically. So things just get thrown really off balance. So I wanted to create a brand that can act as a reminder of the importance of living in the present moment right now. So 478, it's take a breath, take a moment to reconnect. And there is such a movement right now, I think, around that, revolving self-love and manifestation and learning about the law of attraction. And people are really just taking their health mentally and physically into their own hands. But you can't effectively do this or live by these practices if you're not connected to the present moment. So I'm actually wearing one of my shirts, so I can just talk about it a little bit. So this is the 478 logo right here. And if you notice, it's actually supposed to be an hourglass, and it's focusing on that present moment. There it is. So also, I chose to have sell all unisex items, and if you look on our social media or website, there are no modeled pictures of any products. And I did this because I want 478 to resonate with everyone, no matter what age, size, color, ethnicity, gender you are. I want everyone to be able to visualize themselves with the brand, and associate themselves with it and see themselves living what I call living the 478 way, which is really just living in the present moment. It's rebuilding who we are physically and mentally. And it's loving ourselves and becoming the creators of our lives rather than the victims of them. So, yeah.
And Maddy, give your website.
It's 478shop.com.
And we got to say hi to Danielle Martins from Portugal. She's up. I think it's, I don't even know what time it is in the morning there, but she's up. Also, Gloria, I've got to say hi to her because she's become one of our fans. So, Janet-Lynn, what is it like to see your daughter speaking like this? She's a speaker already. How old are you, Maddy? 19? I mean,
yeah, I'm 20, almost 21 in a few weeks, 21.
My mistakes. Wow. No, she's a speaker already. And I told your mom this. You two will be speaking on our Dreamweaver Ranch sometime next year. So she's already ready. Imagine how much better she'll be at that point. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on, because I love when your mom was describing it, how you told it to me. I thought that was brilliant of what you created. And I'm like, this is really, really good. We got to talk to her. And that was back in April we decided to do this. And we kind of wanted to surprise you with this. Janet-Lynn, take it away.
Oh, well, Maddy, that was just so amazing. You have always been a delightful speaker, and I'm so proud of you and for the journey that you're on. And you're just such a strong young lady, and I'm just so proud that you're my daughter. And yes, Maddy has always been a fantastic speaker. She used to always win awards at school, and we would practice, and she would just listen to all of the feedback that I'd give her and other people would give her. And she's just very comfortable. Maddy has performed in front of a lot of different people. She has the most beautiful voice. She's a singer. She plays the guitar, and she's just amazing, all around amazing girl. So I'm just so proud of her.
All right. So Janet-Lynn, let's talk about your book. Let's talk about where it is today and what you're working on now.
Okay, yes, my book has been a great success. So there's a few different points I'd love to chat about. First of all, Hasmark International has been incredible, and all of the people there have been very uplifting and very supportive, and everyone associated with them, including Danielle and everyone. So the book is an international bestseller, as you mentioned, and it has it piqued the interest of some people in the Hollywood industry. So I am very excited to say that there are people who are supporting this book, and it's being shopped in Hollywood. So that is just the most unbelievably exciting thing. And I have a audiobook coming out on Audible. It's also going to be available on my website. And I wanted to wait until Maddy's birthday, July 14th. So that's in a couple of weeks, and it's going to be available then. And I also have this wonderful woman named Maria that is translating it in Spanish. So I'm so excited to say that in the next 6 months, the book will also be available in Spanish. And I think that's going to be really great, because that means we can reach more people around the world with this story of empowerment and love. So I'm very excited about that.
So Tosh, what was it like when you got your book? I know you were excited because you called me.
Yes. I was actually thinking about it. I was like, I wonder where this book is. And literally, like, the night my mom was like, hey, like, you received something from Canada. I'm like, oh my God, it's the book. It's the book. There's nothing else. It has to be the book. And when I received it, I wasn't even home for the weekend. So I got to reading it yesterday when I came back home. And honestly, like, I am obsessed with it. Like, I feel like I stopped. I was reading right before we were about to go on the show, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to stop. It's Janet-Lynn, I gotta say, I feel so connected with this book, and I love how you're developing Joel. I feel like, oh my God, like he's like such a sweetheart, and like it's honestly like I have no words for this book, and I love the character B, which I'm assuming is that the character that is portrayed by Maddy, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So I'm starting to see how that connection is building and like just how it kind of is gonna go. But I honestly love the way that you wrote the book. It's like I am like imagining everything, like every scene, and I'm just like picturing in my head. And I love that about books. You made me realize how much I really liked books. I haven't read a book in a while, and this book really has opened up, you know, my emotions and my connections. I'm like, I need to read more books because books are amazing. Like you've said, some words are something that are like number one because it's something that you can create with your own like imagination, your feelings, what you're going through, and everybody has their own like different ways of interpreting words. Honestly, this book, if you guys have not gotten Forever is Today, you must, because you're gonna feel so connected. You're gonna feel like you're back in your teens. Like it's, oh my God, I honestly, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy that you sent it.
Not only did you make Maddy's day, you just made Janet-Lynn's day, but you also made Judy's day, because Judy, the founder of Housemark, is on with us too. So you just did a great endorsement for them. I mean, you can't get any better than that. So here's the other thing. So Nonstop.
Yes.
The 478, that will help your breathing too, because it is really, really good. I don't know if you've tried it or not. So Maddy, tell Nonstop why she should be doing it. Can I say she's asthmatic because she has breathing problems sometimes?
Well, not so much anymore. I mean, I grew up with allergies and asthma. I still have like bad allergies. So, but I wouldn't say my asthma is a problem anymore, but just my hay fever.
So Maddy, what do you think? I think she needs to try it regardless, doesn't she?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, it can just help with everything. Like it's all about just disconnecting from our external and just taking a moment to kind of reconnect with ourselves and just take a minute and let everything else go by and really just sit with ourselves. And it's so important to do that, you know, a few times a day if you can. Or, you know, if you're into meditating, that's a really great breathing technique to kind of integrate into that. And it just really helps you settle and relax. And there's so many different benefits that I've experienced firsthand. So, yeah, definitely give it a try. And I'd love to hear how that works for you.
Definitely will. I just got the book actually yesterday, so I'm looking forward to reading it. So I'm really excited. So it did come, but I just now got it.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Maddy, talk about this. I can't say this enough. I love the fact that you didn't choose any models or anything like that for your website. I thought the idea of how you created all this is brilliant. Talk about why that's important.
I think it's just so important because often, you know, in life, it's easy to feel out of control, like we don't have control over ourselves and over our own lives. And for me, you know, what really brought that feeling up for me was my disease. You know, I let that sick person who was diagnosed 6 years ago make decisions in my life today. You know, it completely, my life revolved around it. And it wasn't until I started integrating these different practices into my life that I took my power back. I took control, which is the most important thing that you can do in your life. And that's why I think it's so important that everyone can connect and feel like they associate with this brand, because, you know, that's not off limits for anyone. That's something that everybody needs to realize and to bring into their lives.
So Janet-Lynn, I mean, I can't stop just marveling at Maddy and how well of a speaker she is. When you're listening to her, what's going through your mind? Because I can tell you what's going through my mind. My mouth is dropping when I'm listening to her.
I've always known that she was going to be very successful no matter what she did, because that's just the kind of person that she is. And she never takes no for an answer. And she's never played the victim. No matter what happens in her life, she's just always ready for the next, ready to jump over the next hurdle. And, it's all about attitude, really. It's about attitude and relationships. And Maddy's just really down to earth, and she cares about everyone. And so, that's being reflected in this brand that she's created, the 478. And, she wants everyone to feel good. She wants everyone to feel empowered and to feel like they're a part of everyone else and everything else. And so it's just really wonderful. And I know that the clothes are great. I've ordered a bunch of stuff for myself, and a lot of my friends have as well. And it's really great quality. And when you're wearing it, like the letters are inverted in one part of her brand, and it's called the Reflection Collection. And it's so neat because it's like you're carrying around a little secret. And when you look in the mirror, you can actually see what the word is. And it's things like, fearless and unlimited. And just these words are just so important in our life.
So, Janet-Lynn, let's talk about this. This is, I think it's chapter 10 or 11. When you're coming home, I think you have a headache, if I remember correctly. You're coming home, and then all of a sudden, Ray is sleeping in the bed. Talk about that scenario there. And you see, if I remember correctly, the Tylenol bottle. Is that correct? If I remember correctly?
Yeah. So the book, when Brian says you're coming home, so the main one of the main characters, aside from B, is Joel. And I am Joel. So I speaking in the first person narrative as Joel. And so he's coming home from school, and he's really quite concerned. And this is the point in the story where his girlfriend is very, very sick, and he doesn't really know it. And everyone thinks that she's getting better. And then he finds her, and he's supposed to be in school, but he has this terrible headache. So he finds her in bed, and there's this open Tylenol bottle. And he was very concerned because with liver disease, you can't have a drop of alcohol. You can't take anything, even like Advil is very, very bad. And so it was concerning, and she was allowed to have a little bit of Tylenol, not very much. So he went and woke her up, and he saw that her eyes were yellow, and which is a really bad sign. And she just had a huge breakdown because she's been trying to hold on for so long and pretend that everything's okay. And she's trying to be okay for the people that love her, like her family and her friends, but she's just so tired. And so she, while he was at school, she would sleep and not feel good. And then as soon as everyone came around and she had to be on, she would, seem to have unlimited energy. So that's basically what that scene is like. And, that's what it's like sometimes, with this illness. It can really make you lethargic. And when you do have something as simple as a headache, it becomes very concerning because you can't just open up an Advil bottle and pop some pills and it's very concerning. So B has to be very careful.
And the reason why I chose that is because my partner, Montague Pope-LeBeau, has issues like that where he can't eat processed food. He can only eat some limited things. He's had 2 strokes. He's a brilliant man. But it's my concern of that. And I could relate to, Maddy, probably what you go through sometimes, because we talk 3-5 times a day, me and my partner, what we're creating. And I could feel that. And Tasha's right. It is so beautifully written. And knowing you two now and getting to know you better, and especially when you come on to the ranch next year, it is just wonderful just to go back and read certain parts, because I'm like, wow, I missed that the first time. Going back to reread it again. This is why I love hardcovers, the books, because you can pick it up. I can go to the park when I've had long days, and I'm like, oh, this is really, really good. It's inspiring. Forever is today, and that's how I think of things like that. So Tosh, I jumped a little bit. Don't get discouraged because you love what you're reading so far. Talk about where you are in that book, really what that's meaning to you right now, because I know you can't wait to finish it. I could see the smile on your face.
I'm so excited, honestly. I'm at the part where they went to their second date to watch the Phantom of the Opera, and they're in the first stages of getting to know each other. He just moved into town, and so I'm kind of in that honeymoon stage that's going on. Like, they're like excited about each other. He's like, oh my God, does she like me? Does she not? Am I being too like weird? So that's where I'm at. Nothing has happened yet. They did hold hands, and I was like, it brought me back to like when I first held hands with like my boyfriend when I was like 15, and he talked about like how he felt like that he's never felt something like that before, like all the emotions. And I was like, wow, like I felt that when I held the hand of my first boyfriend. So it's such a nice reading, honestly. Like, I'm enjoying like as their relationship is developing, and I'm so excited about this book. I'm telling you, like, oh my God. It's great. I after we're done with the show, I'm probably gonna read this like for the next like 2 hours.
So Terri, when you got your book in the mail, because this is why I love hard copies. For me, I can't read a book inside. I actually have to go out. I have to go to the park. I have to jump on a subway, jump on a bus. And so I can read because I'm getting so many things sent to me. You've got to sample a lot of things, but you want to do those authors and those brands and companies a service of really picking up their products and doing things what we want to do with them our way. And it is an honor to get things, and I never take anything, never, Maddy, I never take anything for granted. And that's one reason when your mom was on April 13th, going back to the first time that we talked to her, I think in March or the late February, that I wanted to talk to you in the future. And when I say that you're going to be coming to our ranch, or you're going to be speaking, it's going to be on a different way. So I already know how it's being built up because I started sending everybody the final plans today. And I can see what's going on with stuff. I can see who's coming. I know how many people are coming. And it's exciting to me because not everybody will be allowed to come because we want to cap it at a certain thing. But someone like your mom, your family, that will be exciting to me to meet in person in a safe way. That's what I really look forward to.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm just so excited to do that. And I mean, like my mom said, I've always wanted to, have people feel great. When people are like, oh, I'm having a rough day, I've always loved to be that person that's just like, let me just make you feel better, tell me about it. So you presenting that opportunity where I can hopefully, share my story and with my mom and inspire people and hopefully help some people change some things in their lives so that they can be happier and they can be better. Like, that's just an amazing opportunity. So thank you.
Well, I love that you learned that at a young age, because there's so many people, especially when you're younger, that don't want to really help others. They're too involved in themselves. And a lot of times people will put others down when they're not feeling good about themselves. So that's, it's just awesome that, you've got that outlook. More people should live their lives that way.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's definitely been a learning curve, but I can say comfortably, I think I'm finally at a point where I'm almost, I've told my mom this, it sounds weird, but I'm almost grateful for it in a sense, because I just feel like I don't think I would be the person that I am today without having to have kind of grown up in that sense so fast and to learn all the things that I'm learning. And I'm really grateful for it. And I hope that I can share it with other people and being so young, hopefully share it with other people my age. And then so everyone can just move forward in their lives with so much more knowledge and just so much happier and just living a great life and healthy and happy and just everything's good.
I love your spirit. Like
yes.
Like you're so inspirational. So much light comes like right when you just have to smile, and it's so nice to see somebody so young like just giving out so much light. Honestly, like it's such an honor to talk to people like you. Maddie.
No, that's so sweet. That's the nicest compliment I've ever gotten. Like, I'll be thinking about that for years to come. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
You know,
So now that-
as I'm watching, oh, go ahead, Josh, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. Maddie, so now that you have your 478 clothing line, are you thinking of any new things with that brand coming up? Did you just launch? How long ago did you?
Yeah, so it's only been 2 weeks today. So I don't have too many, future plans. Really, just right now, it's just pushing the brand and getting it out there and hopefully growing it. And so that's the plan now. And I'm sure things will kind of come into that and build on that in the future.
Okay.
Well, I told your mom that we would push it on our end because I like what you created. I like the thought as your mom was telling me the story, I was picturing how this was being envisioned. And I thought that was brilliant. And as I'm listening to it, Janet-Lynn, I'm like, I almost want to make Maddy one of our co-hosts for like occasion because she's like inspiring. And believe me, when I'm thinking about it, it's going to happen. So now that I kind of said it, I think you're going to be one of our co-hosts now, Maddy. You'll be the youngest one. See, Tosh, you got to have someone younger than you now.
I'm the baby, so it's time for another one to be baby.
Yeah. Oh, that would be amazing. That sounds amazing to me. I'm all in. I'm there.
Talk about this. Besides your family members, what inspires you when you're having those hard days? Who or what is it that inspires you just to get up? Because everybody has those days. What or who does it for you?
That's a really awesome question. I mean, I think in a sense, I've always been my harshest critic. And I think that on those days, it really is just that voice in the back of my head that's like, what do you want? How do you want today to be? How do you want to live your life? What do you want to base your choices off of? Do you want to base your decisions today off of sickness and just feeling crappy and let that define your day? Or do you want to choose to feel good and have a good day? So I think on those hard days, I mean, outside of my family, of course, it's just, I push myself to the limits for sure.
So nonstop, you push yourself. I mean, this question is for everybody. So Terri,
Yes.
when I'm not calling you and harassing you, what gets you out of bed? What gets you going?
Bills. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just
Whoa,
kidding.
don't break the table.
I'm just kidding. Everybody's got to make a living, but but things that inspire me to get out of bed are probably just appreciation of life in general. The older I get, I realize how precious life is, and just to spend time with people that I care about. If that makes any sense.
No, it does make sense, Tosh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, honestly, I always wake up in the mornings and I start off with like 10 things that I'm just grateful for in general, or things that happened, the day before. And that kind of puts me in a good mood, in a positive mood. And if I'm feeling like a little down, that positive energy that I just start, repeating in my head, that definitely gives me the urge to like, okay, let's continue having a great day. Let's make the best out of today. So that's my trick.
And Janet-Lynn?
Oh, well, I'm an early riser. I wake up at 5 a.m. and when it's warm outside, I head straight outdoors. I love nature. I love the birds and, all of nature, the smells, all of that. So that's a great way to start the day. And of course, while I'm out there, I'm jogging or riding my bike or something, because I think that fitness has always been such a huge part of my life, and it's what keeps you healthy, and it's just always there for me. It always has been. If you're not feeling good, you can always work out and feel empowered. And I just love the idea that my day is going to be unfolding, and I'm going to be able to touch other people, because that's what's very meaningful for me. Is I always ask myself, how can I make this day a little bit better for someone else? So I mentioned before that it's all about having a great attitude in relationships, and it really is, because each one of us can at any time affect someone else in a really big way, just by doing something as small as smiling, and giving a compliment, and just honoring this gift called life. And so when I wake up in the morning, I'm excited to get going on all of that, and to keep thinking about my dreams and where I'm going and where I'm headed. And all of it has to do with being kind and loving and being grateful for everyone and everything. And I appreciate everything that comes my way. And I go looking for opportunities every single day to put a smile on someone else's face. And that's what fills me up. And what about you, Brian?
Yes, Brian.
Well, my thing is, I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to grow their brands around the world. We will be in the top 10 this year, next year, and I want it to be 2022. Next year we'll be number one in the world in what we're doing. We will have 20 to 25 million views a day and counting. We're almost at 9 right now. I don't mention it to a lot of people. I keep it at 8. I'm being conservative and stuff. And then our Dream River Artist Ranch, whatever's being created, I'm excited, because not only is it a safe place, people like Maddy of what's going on with things like that. It's all about eating correctly. Our 10 acres of growing fresh food, never processed or anything like that. This is really, really important. It's a safe place to go. It's on the way Yosemite Park. I'm going to make a deal with Yosemite National Park and what we're doing. So Maddy, you and your mom and your family will have a great time when you come to our ranch, but also going to the park. And then Terri, you'll like going to Yosemite, the spa. DJ Badass, Ashley, one of our other co-hosts, she went there and had a great deal. And then building up the art center in Mariposa, it'll be like I tell people, like going to Disneyland, and a toss-up between going to the Sundance Film Festival, except everybody will be coming to us. We'll put Mariposa on the park around the world. So we know exactly how many people are coming, a month, a week, a day. We've got it all down. And I'm just excited because people like BMW, people like LG, Monster headphones that I'm always wearing. I love my headphones. All these things, all these brands that you don't even know about. Companies that I've been working on for 2 years that just didn't come on board that I haven't even talked about, because 1, there's no time. But 2, I want to showcase everybody on our Dream River Artist Ranch. That's what keeps me going. And talking to many people around the world, finding the time to talk to all these people around the world, it's exciting to me. It's fun. So that's what keeps me going. There, how's that, Janet-Lynn?
That's awesome.
I'm cheering for you over here.
Well, no, and again, everybody shines from this. You have no idea how important with this. I mean, whether people believe in climate change or whatever, I don't care. We actually drive people coming to where we're coming to, and that's great. You talked about Janet-Lynn. You talked about going outside, going to parks. It's very spiritual. It's very fitting. It can heal you. You got to have trees on our property. We have plenty of trees, and that's the whole thing. So that's what makes it great. Plus, seeing everybody on this panel speaking there, that's what I'm setting up in my mind, because you don't know what I have set up until I tell you, but I know how everything's already unfolding. We already know. That's exciting to me. And when everybody comes to my property, I should say me and Montague and Lacey and our the 3 of us, our property, your mouths will drop what you see. That's the fun part. And then when I call Terri or talk to Katerina, who's in Greece right now, it is really, really exciting and really fun. We have a lot of great big people coming. So Maddy, don't be surprised who you see there. Don't be surprised who will be following you and buying your stuff off your website. But I can tell you ahead of time who's coming. That'll make you excited.
But Maddy, I was going to say, but you have to remember too that no matter how famous people are human beings. They're not any different than me and you. I think So
that's very true. I love that. Yes.
Yeah. We all go through the same growing pains and basically same feelings, whether we're a celebrity or not a celebrity. We're just all people. We're all here, and we're all God's children. That's how I believe.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Maddy, do you read? Are you reading any books besides your mom's? Are you watching any TV listening to any music?
I do it all. I love to read. I'm actually just working through a series right now. I don't know if anyone's heard of the Shatter Me series, but I love it. I haven't been able to put it down. I think it's like 5 books, and I borrowed them all from my sister. And I'm reading those right now. Movies, I mean, shows, music, everything. I love it all. My mom and I, we watch like our little show every night to, you know, kind of wind down and settle in for the night. And yeah, music is a huge part of my life as well.
So Tosh, speaking on music, tell Maddy what you do and what you have out.
So I am a Latin pop singer, just Spanish music. So if you like those Spanish vibes, definitely take a listen to some of my music.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know you're a singer, so I wanted to ask you, what type of music do you like to sing? Are you a soprano? Are you an alto? What are you?
For singing, I mean, I have a pretty good range, but I generally like to do like more acoustic stuff. Like when Billie Eilish kind of came into the spotlight, I was like, that's what I love, like really just the voice telling a story. But I mean, I love to sing it all. I just love singing and music. So, I mean, even listening to it, one day it'll be classical, the next day it'll be rock, then it'll be Latin, you know, it's always changing. I love it all.
Yeah, me too. I'm always, you know, I love Spanish music, but I love like English music. I even listen to like languages that I don't even understand, but I just love the emotion that music gives me. So, so quick story, like super short. I kind of had a little epiphany when it was like during the pandemic, and I decided to bet on myself with music, and I decided to start writing, and it's been a journey, honestly. Like I have 3 songs out. I definitely would suggest for you to listen to Menea or Gozala. Those are my favorite ones, and it's a lot of people's favorites as well. So definitely, you can find me everywhere. Like, you know, not official, like super like, out there. But at least I'm on Spotify and Apple Music. I'm on streaming services. So everything is like super organic. A lot of the music, I do it with my friends, so we're all kind of just trying to grow with each other when it comes to music. So yeah, it's been fun. I'm honestly having a great time, and just you know, one day I hope to be able to be on the top 10 Billboard Hot 100 or something. So I'm excited.
Well, that's so amazing. I mean, congratulations to you, because I know it's definitely not easy, especially, you know, kind of getting past that first little bit and putting yourself out there and opening that part of yourself up for the first time. It's tough. So I have so much respect for you, and I'm definitely going to check out those songs. I'm so excited to listen to them. I'm going to do it right after we're done here. I'm going to look it up right then.
Oh, so Tosh, Danielle wants you to sing to Maddy. Sing a little bit of Gozalito.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Well, okay. So I'll sing a little bit of one of my songs. I guess. Okay. Dime, si tú quieres probar el Venezuelan got yeah. Me dicen tigresa y ando buscando mi tigre. Cuando te encuentre, bésame otra vez. ¿Qué tú vas a hacer para que me enredes? Que ya no puedo aguantar las ganas. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Beautiful voice. Oh, you have so much control. It's beautiful.
Well, I see a vocal coach, because it took me a long time to get that control, and I feel like I still can definitely get better vocally. So my vocal coach has been a blessing to me, honestly. That to control your voice, it's very hard. Like, there's some techniques like breathing exercises that really help with like you hitting the note right on the spot. There's a lot of stuff that I've learned with my vocal coach. So
Absolutely. Yeah. I actually don't anybody ask me to sing because I'm not going to do it, but we used to do opera growing up. And so I completely know what you mean. Like you're just like, they're like, sing from up here. And you're like, what does that even mean? And so you get it. And it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. And then it's just building that and being able to just do all kinds of different stuff. It's crazy how much there is to it.
Maddy, you're so lucky. I was going to put you on the spot and make you sing too. So instead,
how about I prepare something? I'll prepare something and then next time.
Okay. So with that, all right, Terri, tell her what you do.
I'm a fitness competitor, and one of Brian's co-hosts. I do a lot of red carpet interviews with Brian. I'm training right now for a show right now with my first trainer that got me on stage, and I started competing in NPC and fitness shows in my 40s. So it's never too late to start anything that you want to in life. And I just want to inspire like other people to go for their dreams and goals, no matter how old they are, how young they are, how old they are, and not listen to the noise and just go forth to what your passions are.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
And Janet-Lynn, what do you want to leave everybody with? We got about 4 minutes.
What do I want to leave for everyone? I just want to inspire everyone to think about what that one thing you love to do, because God all gave us a gift. And if you think back to when you were a child, maybe you had a dream of becoming something and then you tucked it away, and you got busy with school and friends and sports and all of that. But we all have a reason why we're here. We all have a purpose. And it's just so important that we uncover that purpose, not only develop it, but show it off to the world. And I mean, imagine if every single day of your life, you can do the thing that you love to do. So what do you love to do? Like, ask yourself, figure it out, write down the things that you really enjoy doing, because that is what is going to catapult you through, over and above anything else. Like it's not always just who you know, even though that's really important, but it's just having that passion inside of you, because that's how I get up so early in the morning. I don't think I've ever pressed the snooze button in my entire life, because I'm always excited for the day, because I know I'm going to get to do some of the things that I love to do. So I just think it's a real wonderful thing. You can just go through life if you want and say, yeah, this is good enough, and not really do anything with your life. Or you can squeeze the juice out of it. You can live impossibly, which means you can do anything. And it's true. And if you believe it and you make a decision and you follow through and discipline yourself to keep on keeping on, then you are going to be very successful.
And let me ask you, what's going on with Surviving 17?
Surviving 17 is being retweaked because it was written over 10 years ago, and I self-published it when self-publishing was still pretty new. And I think that some of the language and technology especially needs to be changed. And it's a very personal book, but when it comes back out, I think it's going to be really great. And it is very much based on my teenage life. I did not have it easy. And I think it's really important for me to rewrite it and get it back out there, because, so many people just see what they see, and they shouldn't judge a book by a cover. And there's so much behind each one of us. And so many people just make assumptions, and they see the car you drive, or, how you carry yourself down the street, and they think, oh, she's got made, everyone does things for her, and she's just one of the lucky ones, or she was born into it, or whatever, and and you really never know what a person has gone through and what has gotten them to be able to walk and hold their head up high and to have confidence and believe in themselves. It might have been a very, very long journey, and it's all of those little steps and all of the struggles and all of the pain and tears and sweat and all of that. That's the stuff that most people don't know anything about, and that's always there for every single person who has achieved great things. They have also struggled and felt pain, and hopefully that makes their struggles mean a lot more to them. But yeah.
Oh, so we got one last question for you. So Roxy wants to know, when did you start writing?
When I was a little girl, I've always found peace in words and books. I love the smell of a book, the feel of a book. I usually am reading 5 or 6 books all at one time. I leave them in different places. One's in my car, one's at work, one's at my other work, one's upstairs. And I'm always reading because I love books. And I always wanted to be an author. I've always been reading in more than one language. I used to go to a French school, and my mom was German, and I would read German books. I'm taking Spanish now, and I'm always doing Duolingo and reading in Spanish. And I just love words. I just think it's so amazing the way that you put them together and the way they can mean so many things. It's like putting flavors together in the kitchen, which I can't really do too effectively. But with words, so I've always wanted to write. And I also want to quickly say that growing up, I was always told, you can't write. You can't be an author. Like, what are you talking about? You can't do that. So many people extinguish our dreams, and it's a good thing I'm so stubborn and I've got that German streak in me. And I never listened to those people, and I'm just so glad. And I'm so glad that also for my 3 daughters, because I've been able to raise them, and I think that they really affect the people around them and the people they come into contact with and their friends, and they have that instilled in them. You can do anything. It doesn't matter as long as it's what you want to do and you're going to be happy doing it and you're going to be, living your best life, then that's all that matters. So I think Maddy is a great testament to all of that, and the way that I was raised and what we believe in is that you can do anything and live impossibly.
And with that, I want to thank everybody around the world for watching and listening to us, because it's a great thing. And again, I don't take anything for granted. I never have. And I repeat, I never have. Sometimes I'll do some of the crazy things to remind everybody, to remind myself, always, if you see someone homeless out there, and I look at it like, that could be me. So I'm always thinking about what can we do with our team, with our friends, the people who come on, our sponsors now, our future sponsors. All this is good. Gloria, thank you for chiming in. Roxy, thank you for that question. And Janet-Lynn, you said something about smiling. And as I always end up saying, I want to thank Maddy Rose. And Maddy, I'm going to use you as a co-host occasionally. Be prepared, be ready, and I know you will be. Tasha, I want to thank you for. I know you are. You got something else to look forward to now, because now I just challenge you, which is a great thing. I challenge you just like I challenge nonstop all the time. And really, I want to make the women around the world be respected, grow their brands. That's really, really important to me. So as I leave everybody, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching, listening, and all the stuff that we're about to create, that we are creating. I always say this: if you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world needs it. I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More, and we will see you next week.